great. How about yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm also
Priyadarshan,
good. Um,
சொல்லுங்க.
so Rob, what you do like basically? I mean, so what's your academic background?
Yeah, basically, I'm the Oracle database analyst, and these days I'm trying to learn more about the security part.
Okay. Okay. So well, first of all, let me introduce myself. This is Abhishek this side. Okay.
Okay,
Currently, I'm working with Wipro Technologies as a senior consultant, InfoSec consultant in Gurgaon itself, and I'm doing the freelancing part for Bountex Solutions.
understood.
Yeah. So you might have gone through with the course content and everything.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So it's like so we'll start with the demo itself. So
yeah. Before you
okay.
start the demo, could you tell me about a little bit? Uh, what do you call this?
Cyber security.
Yeah, this security that we are going to be discussing about. What's the exam number for this?
Yeah. Sure. I'll definitely do that. So first of all, the course which we'll be dealing with, it's basically meant up for the beginners only, and it's like we'll be covering most of the topic from the initial stage to the advanced level itself in this course. And apart from this, talking about the initial certification, which is there, is like first of all, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see a screen. Yeah.
So the initial or the basic level course which is there is the certified ethical hacker. Okay. So this course is provided by the body that is your EC Council.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So EC Council is the governing body which used to provide various certification. Okay. Okay. So it's like after this course we have CHFI, which is a certified hacking forensics investigator. Okay. And after this course in this particular domain, we have LPT, that is your license penetration tester. Okay. And if you go much more advanced, so these were the courses by EC Council.
Okay.
Okay. EC, where EC stands for electronic comments and consultants. Okay. So it's like this, and this was by EC Council. Okay. And after this, we have the exams from that is like OSCP, OSNP, OSWP.
So what's the abbreviation for these? OSCP
Yeah,
and
I'm
OSNPC?
telling that. I'm
Okay.
telling that.
Okay. Sorry.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, no issue. It's like these were the exams providing by another governing body, that is your offensive security, offensive sec or offensive security. Okay. So OFCP stands for Offensive Security Certified Professional.
Understood.
Okay. And NP stands for Network Professional, and WP stands for Wireless Professional. So these all courses were provided by another governing body, that is your offensive security. So these are the extreme stage of the security.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the certifications provided at the extreme stage. In between, we have another governing bodies. If you go for a little bit like uh, there are certain governing bodies like you can go for I'll tell you, which is your SANS also provide the certifications, and other governing body is CompTIA.
Yeah, I just recently passed one of the cybersecurity analyst exam. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like these are the governing body in between. But for the initial stage, the governing body is the EC Council, and the final stage, which is your offensive stage. Okay. In between these, there are certain other bodies which you can opt for the
Yeah.
exam.
Yeah, like
Okay.
ISC,
So
they have the CISSP exam.
yeah, CISSP basically is for auditing and all.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So that doesn't come in this particular domain. That is basically meant for the auditors.
Understood.
CISSP and CISA, CSAM, and all these. Okay. This is particularly governed by ISACA.
Yes.
Okay. So this is not in this particular domain which it comes on, and so in this particular course we'll be not dealing with the mid-level and the high-level certifications. We'll be dealing with the initial levels only.
Okay, so we are just going to be focusing on the certified ethical hackers and CHFI and LPT, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you give me the complete abbreviation of CHFI and LPT if you can write that
Yeah.
up?
CHFI is basically certified hacking forensics investigator,
Got it.
and LPT is your licensed penetration tester. Okay. So these are the exams basically meant by EC Council.
Okay, got it. Now, my next question, are you certified in all three?
Yeah, even I'm certified in OSCP,
Oh, wow, man, that's very good.
and I'm
Actually,
not
my
certified
yeah, actually, my
OSMP.
interest, yeah, my interest came into this security training. I mean, I've been watching a lot of videos. In fact, CVTs also. There's a company
Okay.
called Udemy, UDMY.
Yeah, Udemy.
Yeah, so I mean, I really started to enjoy this part because being an Oracle analyst for like 6, 7 years, I've been doing the
Okay.
same thing over and over again. So it's kind of a repetitive for me. So I was looking for a new venture kind of a thing, and I came across CompTIA as cybersecurity analyst.
See,
Plus, my
CompTIA nowadays market is down for CompTIA. It's not nobody prefers CompTIA.
it is very big, just to let you know,
Yeah.
especially in USA.
But instead of going for CompTIA, I'll suggest like basically you can switch the domain to auditing.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because means auditors are nowadays having more preference than CompTIA certified or any other these type of mid-level certifications.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because one of the main issues I had with my company here in US was I did not have any security certification. And these
Mhm.
days everybody's talking about security. So being a DBA, I thought it's a good idea to learn about it. So I self-taught myself.
Okay,
I
okay,
bought a book from Amazon on CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst, studied it for like 3.5 months, and last week I passed that exam. Of course, with the
okay.
help of some dumps also. But I did a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
study on my own, and I was able to get some good CVTs from Udemy.
Okay, okay.
So
So you
that
purchased it or you used it from like pirated one or something?
no, I purchased everything. I mean, Udemy CVTs are very cheap. It's what's less than like five
Yeah,
dollars or $10 they charge you. Sometimes they have a coupon. So $5 or $10, I mean, it's something. It's not that bad.
yeah.
But the book from Amazon, I rented. It's for like 3 months rent is like $3 only. So I mean, I didn't
Okay.
pay much, but I really got some good information.
Yeah, that is also like the cheap thing only means it's not that much expensive.
Yeah. So that's why I mean, I like to read a lot. I mean, it kind of helps me build my basic knowledge, what I'm getting into it.
Okay. So
So
you are
after,
into Oracle in which company you're working for in which organization?
yeah, it's a one of the company you must have heard of, CSEC. Now they are called CRSA. Computer Science
Yeah,
Corporation.
I have. Yeah, CSE that overtook the HP.
Exactly, yes.
I definitely know that.
Yeah, so I've been
So
working
you're
with them.
into which location, geolocation?
Yeah, I'm located here in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like I've given many of the trainings in HP itself in Bangalore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah. That is the
So,
thing. And
yeah. So one of my colleague at CSE told me ethical hacking should be my next certification.
okay.
And while we were just talking, your school sent me an email with this. I say, yeah, why not? Going with an instructor will be even better. Someone can actually walk me through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it's
basically, are we going to be creating like a, environment in Linux platform to do all these
yeah,
things?
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
What flavor
We'll
of
be
Linux? What flavor of
we'll be
Linux?
using the Kali Linux.
Okay, perfect.
And means as other things will you'll come to know, like it depends on various scenarios. If we are dealing with like let's say web hacking or something, then we'll be creating one of the server and one of the attacking machine, and then we'll be attacking, and then we'll be seeing how the attack used to happen.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so that all things we'll be doing. Okay, so we'll start with the demo.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, basically, you just answered my all questions. Let's start the demo.
Okay. Yeah. So, as you might have gone through with the course, like if you go along with just with the CEH, which I told you, this one, CEH is basically it's like just learning the tools only, tool sets only. Okay, there is no much comprehensive knowledge in that. Like you will be learning the logic or something in that. Getting my point? Hello.
Yeah, I got your point. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like this particular course we have combined up all these three entry-level courses like CHFI, LPT, and all, and we have made this course. So in this course, you will be learning email security, how to track the fake mails, how to go with the Google hacking database, and all those things. Apart from it, you will be learning out the LPT part, that is your license penetration testing part. That is your web application penetration testing. In this, you will be learning the OWASP top 10 and all those things. Okay, so OWASP is another governing body which like majorly in like every 4 years they used to go means they used to collect the data from the market. Okay, and they used to make a survey and they used to gather out the data and perform the analytics over that, and they used to find out the top 10 attacks which are going on or which are floating around the market within these 4 years. Okay, OWASP top 10. Okay, so talking about this one, OWASP top 10, this all things we'll be learning in the web application penetration testing. Okay, so let us see like how these things works out and how these things are. Okay, so okay, so let me just okay just show you one demo. So this is one of the educational group, that is Avanti Educational Society, very much popular in India. Okay, they provide post graduation in pharmacy and engineering colleges and all those things. Okay, and if you notice, like all those things are there, whatever means it's a genuine site, genuine live website which is there. So the thing is they're having their login panel which is open, means everyone can access that particular login panel. Okay, so what the thing happened over here is if suppose anybody wants to provide certain credentials over here, let's say I want to put some random username password, let's say Abhishek, and it will prompt me with an error that is invalid login details. Okay. So how this thing happened, let us first discuss on that, like how this particular error used to come. Like whenever a user passes up the wrong credentials or the wrong information to a genuine system. So first of all, let us discuss that thing. Okay. So first of all, let us come to understand like what is the difference between a web application and a web site, which we call. Okay. So web application is basically an application which is running over the web services. It is basically like it will be having different set of tool sets in it, which is used to fulfill the user requirement. Okay. So here, let us take an example of any of the web application. Let us say like Flipkart, Amazon, or all those things. These are considered as a web application. Why? Because they are able to perform certain logics inside the application itself. Because if you notice that if you visit like Amazon, eBay, Flipkart, or anything, if we are going to purchase any product, we can sort that product as per their like popularity, price from low to high. That means that application is dynamic in nature, that is able to perform certain logics inside it. Okay. So let us say this is particularly a web application. Okay. Now, another thing is our websites. Websites are basically static in nature. Means that is just the collection of the pages or the collection of the web pages. We cannot perform any sort of logics inside that. Okay. So let us say this is one of the web application. Okay. The first fulfillment of the web application is it must be connected up with a particular set of database. Okay. So now let us suppose this particular application is connected with a database server. Okay, you might be familiar with this as you are a Oracle administrator. Okay, so this is one of the DB server. Okay, it can be MySQL, it can be Oracle, it can be anything. Okay, so this is the database server. Inside that, various of the database will be there, tables will be there, columns, rows, tuples, and all those things will be there, triggers and all. Okay, we are taking it on a very broad perspective. Okay, now one more thing which will be there is your user. Okay, so user basically have the control over the user interface part only. Okay, this entire web application is also divided further into two parts. Okay, one part which we call it as a UI or the user interface. Okay, another part which we call it as the backend web application or the core web application, which is there. Okay, now this particular core web application is responsible for the connectivity of the database and everything. It is like whenever you pass a certain connection string within the web application, so that connection string is basically the backend web application part. It is not the front end or it is not the UI. So whenever a user passes up certain input, let's say some credential user passes up. Okay. So these particular credentials are sent through the web application. Okay. So these particular credentials are sent through the web application UI or the front end to the backend web application. And this backend web application, what it does is it will check that either that particular things or that particular credentials are present over the database server or not. Either it can be certain hashing techniques they have applied, or certain encryption, or whatever they have applied. It will check either that particular hash is present in that system or not, and then it will reply to the backend web application, and then backend web application will reply to the user. Okay. So the flaw inside this particular 3-tier architecture, this architecture we call it as a 3-tier architecture. Now there is a flaw in this architecture, that is whenever a application or there is a reply from the backend web application, that will be in the form of Boolean terms. Okay, that is either it can be a 0 or 1, which means true or false value. Okay, so if it is like if the credentials are right, then it will be true. If the credentials are wrong, then it will be a false value, which means the user didn't pass up the correct credentials, or the credentials are invalid. So that is how this particular architecture works upon. Okay, if you talk about this particular application, here if we are passing up this particular set of credentials, that is Abhishek, we are getting up the invalid login. You can see this. It is saying enter username. So let me just type any username. I'll try to log in, and it's saying that invalid username because it is getting up the false value from the database itself. Now, if I want that whatever value the user will pass, whatsoever the value the user will pass, it should always remit me to the true value. Okay, whenever this particular execution happens, it should always happen in with a resultant of the true value. Okay, so in that scenario, what I can do is I can directly pass up a query over here. Okay, let us say we are passing up this particular set of query over here. Okay, and then we try to log in. Okay, now you can see that we are successfully logged in. Okay, we are successfully logged in. We can view the profile, we can change the marks, attendance, reports, and everything. Okay, you can even change the password of the control panel. Okay, now how this particular attack happened, and most of the sites are vulnerable with this sort of attacks. Okay, so the value I passed up over here is this thing. Okay, now if you notice, I put up a normal thing, that is your single quote or 1. Okay, here we are using the OR operator. Okay, which means any value, I mean any of the one value or any of the one operand is true, then this will result into the true value. So here already 1 is there, and anything or 1. Okay, what will be the resultant? That will be always true. Okay, and if you notice the right hand side, okay, so in right hand side I have passed this thing. Okay, so it will match. Okay, left hand side the execution is true. Okay, and the right hand side, which is already 1, which means that it will be true. Okay, and after this we put the double hyphen, that is for the comments, that whatever the query after this thing is, it will be commented out. Okay, so once we execute this, that is LHS, with what we are getting is true, and the RHS, what we are getting is also true. If RHS equal to LHS, then it will be a true value. So that means that the user is genuine and he is able to log in, or the user is validated. Okay, so that is how this particular attacks used to work. Okay, and that we call it as a SQLI, or the SQL injection. Okay, Now you might be thinking that this attack will be working on many of the websites. Okay, but sorry to say, like there are certain queries which means after gaining certain like experience in this field, you will come to know like this set of query will work on this particular data set or this particular database. Okay, so you will come to know like I'm already having the cheat sheet with me, like what all queries will work on these things, different things. So it's like you can go with this and you can just find out like which query will work on which particular part. Okay, so that was about this particular session. If you have any doubts or queries, you can ask me.
Not at the moment.
Okay, so everything is clear
Yep. So far so
or
good.
it's all clear?
Uh, it's okay.
Okay, fine, no issues. So any doubts or anything, any part means the database you might be familiar with it.
Oh yeah, very well.
Yeah, pretty well. So it's like you must be knowing like what or how this double hyphen or double quotes will be working,
Yes,
how the triggers are working and everything.
absolutely.
Okay, so that is more. So it's like it's never the thing will be never like it's means if you try this in Facebook, Gmail, and it won't work out. Okay, so there are different things like sometimes the concat means function will be working on some particular sites. It might not work on different sites. So it particular depends on the database itself.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the thing. So anything you have, you can ask me.
Not at the moment. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, then Rob, take care.
Okay. So
Okay.
what timings are you going to be available?
Uh, I'll be. You want me to available in the PST timing?
Um, you can just tell me either Eastern Standard Time or Indian Standard Time.
Okay, so it's like as per the means IST. Uh, if I'll be available in the morning, early morning, then it will be like the evening for you.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no issues, no issues. Either I can be available as per your comfort, your evening or your morning. No issues. You can tell
Yeah.
me.
I mean, it's up to you. You tell me, and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
What is
So
your?
both the times will be fine. Like as per IST, I'll be available on morning 6 a.m.
Okay.
Okay,
And what
and
day